Being a housewife was more than I thought it would be. If I'm being completely honest, I always thought maybe other women that did it were overreacting. It's been hell these past 6 months. Me and John, my husband, had finally brought our beautiful baby boy into the world. I didn't trust almost anyone alone with him though. I chose to stay at home because it's always those you expect that are like that. I promised myself I wouldn't leave my child alone with anyone I didn't fully trust, at least until he could speak clearly and gained more freedom. We named our son Bruce. No, I promise, not like Wayne. As I pulled into the driveway of our 2-bedroom house, Bruce immediately erupted in tears. I swear it's like you know you're home. I chuckled to myself. As I stepped out of my stereotypical mum van, sue me, I have lots of nephews and nieces. The wind smacked me in the face like a brick, sending my brunette hair flailing around. I pulled my jacket closer around me and made my way to the back seat to pull Bruce out of his misery. He was surprisingly quiet as soon as I picked him up, and I was thankful to not have screaming in my ear. I loved him, but he had a set of lungs on him. As I made my way to the door, I soon saw that someone had been in the house. The door was cracked slightly, and the doorknob had been broken off completely. I rushed back into the car and quickly drove down the street to park the car and pull my phone out, attempting to call 911 and text John at the same time before I saw his latest text.
Hey babe, heading home early from work. I was gonna try and surprise you, but didn't want to spook you if you came home from shopping.
My heart dropped to my stomach. The 911 operator answered, and before they had a chance to say a word, I hung up and called my husband. I know it seems stupid, but if he was okay, I needed to know. The phone rang, and someone answered. John? No response. John, are you okay? Again, nothing. I listened closer and heard what sounded like someone breathing. Panic set in and I hung up and again dialed 911. I spent a few moments on hold until a young woman answered the phone and I exploded into her headphones. I need police to my address now. I came home to the door open and I think my husband's in there. I gave her the address and demanded the police.
They're en route, ma'am. They'll be there in about 10 minutes. Can I get your name, please?
The woman responded in a routine fashion. Lucy Herrera. I responded, my voice breaking as tears threatened to escape.
Okay, Mrs. Herrera. I'm going to need you to stay on the line with me until the police get there, please. My name is Rachel, but my friends call me Blue.
I paused before deciding to focus on the distraction she was attempting to feed me. Why do they call you Blue?
Well, it's actually a funny story.
About 7 minutes later, I saw 2 police cars pull into my driveway from my spot at the end of the street. So I said goodbye to Blue and pulled up to the edge of my driveway behind them. I watched as 2 officers popped out of each car, 4 in total. I stepped out of my car slowly, and one of the police officers, a tall, skinny male, approached me while the other 3, 2 middle-aged men and 1 woman, approached the door and drew their weapons before entering.
Ma'am, is this your home? We're gonna take a look inside. You said you think your husband is in there?
At just the right moment, someone came over his radio.
Call a paramedic, now! We got a man here!
I don't remember much after that. John's dead, obviously. Bruce is staying with my sister for the time being. After all, she's been raising 6 human beings, so she can handle him while I mourn. He looks so much like his father. When I see him, I can't hold it together. I finally came home today after staying at my dad's place for the past week. But something feels off. It's probably the lack of life. But I don't remember this place seeming so creepy. I sighed as the anxiety crept in. I'm standing in front of the sink. Dishes are piled high. I was supposed to put groceries away that day and then clean the dishes while I made dinner. I crouched down and hugged my knees against my chest. I've never felt so alone in my life. I sit there for a moment and just remember life when he was alive. Close my eyes and imagine him next to me. It's comforting until I open my eyes and he's there.
He's in the house, Lucy.
I reach out to touch him and he's gone. A shuffle of footsteps is heard at the top of the stairs and his words replay in my mind. Panic sets in and I rush for the back door, then dart out the back gate and call the police once more. Only one car comes this time. 2 female police officers exit and search the house, but they don't find anything. As I tell them my story, they have a sympathetic look on their face. Then one of them speaks.
Sometimes, grief can cause hallucinations, ma'am. It's quite possible that's all that was. I'm sorry.
The other officer won't meet my eyes as she gets in the passenger seat of the vehicle, gesturing for the other to follow. The remaining officer gives me the number of a grief counsellor and leaves me in front of my house. I glance back at this cursed place and mentally slap myself. How could I have seriously believed my husband's ghost gave me a warning? I'm going loopy. I pause in front of my door and take a deep breath before entering once more, my hands shaking. I took one last look outside before shutting the door on the setting sun and suburban neighbourhood. To put my mind at ease, I decided to search the house myself. If I die, then so be it. But nothing was out of place. I even checked our stupid attic, full of the nerdy game stuff John had retired from his high school years. But I couldn't find a single damned irregularity. I sighed and decided to grab a glass of water before hitting the sack. I haven't slept a full 8-hour rest since John... Yeah. I filled it up and decided to add one of those Kool-Aid water packets because why not? I turned around to my cabinet and dug a grape one out of the variety box before going back and pouring half of it into my drink. They're usually too sweet for me to use the whole packet. I rolled up the rest for next time, leaving it out on the counter. I climbed up to the second floor and made my way to the bedroom I haven't slept in through the last week. Soon, my grape Kool-Aid is gone, and I'm trying my best to get comfortable in a bed too big for one person. This sucks, I say to myself as my body starts to grow tired. No, not tired. Heavy. My body feels heavy, unnaturally so. What the hell? I try to speak, but my mouth won't move. My body feels stuck in this position.
Vicurionium is one hell of a drug.
A stranger emerges from my closet. I try to scream, but no sound escapes.
You should never really turn your back on your drink, Lucy. You're lucky it was just me.
It's dark, so I can't see. But he's a tall man, and he's holding something in his hand. He approaches my side of the bed and leans his face inches away from mine. My heart races, and my eyes are wide. Tears are escaping uncontrollably. I'm gonna die. I'll never see Bruce even get to elementary. I can see his wide smile through my wet eyes. He reaches his free hand forward and caresses the left side of my face.
Shh. There's no need to cry. I'm here. I know it's been hard since John died.
He suddenly forces my face up to his. Our noses touch, and he brings what he was holding up to my throat. It's sharp, most likely a pocket knife. All I can do is watch his face in terror as he softly drags it from the corner of my neck up to my cheek and finally resting it on my lips.
I wish things didn't have to be this way.
Then laughs, like this is some weird twisted joke.
If only John would have come home early. That's what you've been thinking, right? That's what I've been thinking.
He stands straight and frowns down at me.
We were a lovely family, even if I had to watch and listen from the walls.
He suddenly turns around and throws the knife against the wall with all his might, like a child throwing a tantrum.
But he saw me. He saw me when he came home. I had to kill him. I promise, Lucy.
He sounds like he's crying, but my own tears have stopped. I'm too terrified.
It wasn't my fault. He did it. He found me and I had to kill him.
He was having a full-on temper tantrum now, and he fell on his knees sobbing. He continued like that, crying for a few minutes until he suddenly stopped and turned his eyes to me.
I have to kill you too, Miss Lucy.
He sobbed once more.
I have to find a new family to love.
I attempted again to scream, to twitch, move anything, but it was all futile. He stood up again and towered over my paralyzed figure.
You'll always be my favorite. You were so beautiful inside and out. He didn't even deserve you.
He stood up and gripped the knife in his hand once more, and all I could do was watch, even as he lifted the blade above his head, even as he swung it down into my throat. Hello, my darlings, it's me, Ponch. Thank you all for watching the video, and I really hope that you enjoyed this story. Also, a really big thank you to the narrators who joined me on this one, and I couldn't have done it without you guys, and I appreciate you all joining me, so big thank you to you guys as well. And lastly, the author for allowing me to read this story. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a comment below and a like, because I really appreciate it, and it makes my day. And I promise I'll get back to every single comment. And with that being said, I will see you all soon, and sleep tight.